Oh, hey, sorry, didn't see y'all there. So, we're into fall right now. Everything's getting a little bit different. A lot of guys are going to start dragging a football jig all around on the ledges and deep water, rock piles, tire piles, around brush piles. I'm doing a little something different. What I like to do this time of year is I like to go to a little bit slower presentation, slower power fishing, as you will. As we all know, some of these fish that are offshore, they're always going to be offshore. They get a little more active this time of year. That's where your football jigs come in. That's where your crankbaits come in, Carolina rigs. I know that you're seeing something you don't normally see on my deck. Spinning rods. Yeah, I'm working on finesse techniques right now to try to become a more well-rounded fisherman. But what I want to talk about is these football jigs. So as you can see, I've got this KastKing Deadbolt. I like it. I just started using them. It's got no drag on it. I'm not affiliated with KastKing in any way, but I like the reel. I've got this football jig set up on 25-pound fluoro. And what I like to do this time of year is I like to take this jig and this heavy flipping stick with 25-pound fluoro, and I power fish it around in the shallows, under docks, around laydowns. You can also run your wackies up around docks, laydowns. You can still power fish even with a finesse setup. So like these finesse setups that I have on the spinning rod, it's not finesse in your typical finesse fashion. This is a 15-pound fluoro leader and 30-pound braid on here on a medium action spinning rod, Shimano Vanford, just because I like the drag on it. Excellent setup. Now, you say that's not finesse fishing. Well, it actually is finesse fishing when you're using 1/8 ounce, 16th ounce shaky head with a trick worm or a Senko, something on there. It actually falls a lot slower. However, when you're fishing this around the docks, when you're fishing it around trees and laydowns and brush piles, when I hook one, it's coming to the boat. I don't have to worry about playing it for 4, 5, 7 minutes on 6-pound line, on 10-pound braid, and worry about breaking off in the brush pile or underneath the docks. Y'all can't see it, but this line is really messed up. I'm gonna have to put a new leader on it before I go back out. And that's just from fishing around docks, but with that 15-pound fluoro, I don't have to worry about it. Now, I also use a shaky head, 1/8 ounce, on a medium light 8-foot rod that I built myself with Striker blanks. I got some news about that coming up here soon. Basically on 17-pound fluoro. Again, not your typical finesse fishing, but it works really well. And when I get a hold of one, I know it's coming to the boat. The jigs that I'm throwing, I've got some customs in here. I'll show them to y'all later. Some of my favorites for this time of year. But I do love the Denny Brauer structure jig from Strike King. Excellent for throwing into pretty much anything. Rocks, trees, brush piles, docks. Because of the shape of that head, it doesn't really hang up the way that a typical football jig or a normal jig would hang up. But I do love throwing my footballs, stand-up footballs, this time of year. And like I said, I power fish with it. I go down the bank and I'll hit 100 targets. And out of those 100 targets, you'll usually pick up 4 or 5 fish, if not more. And typically the ones that are going to hit your jigs are a better bite. They're a bigger fish. They're a better bite. This is what I do in the fall. And yes, I love to crankbait. Yes, I'm throwing frogs in the morning. Yes, I'm throwing buzzbaits in the morning. I'm doing everything. However, Once I get past that morning bite, instead of moving offshore, I go ahead and just start running the bank, running the docks, covering water, power fishing with these techniques. If you try to do the same, get good at it, you'll have a lot of success.